Hello, and welcome to the Kosh. I am your host, Timber Smith, and you already know, it is a wonderful, wonderful Saturday morning. Up here getting ready to record. Well, other than, here's the key. It is wonderful because the energy is right, and I'm excited about our guest. But the weather, y'all can do better. Y'all can do better. I don't like gloomy days. Like, I can do cold. I accept cold, but I really, really, really do not like no sun. No sun. And there's something to sun. I think we as a planet, we are all attracted to sun. Like there's something about when the sun is out, things are better. So unsunny days, it just ain't the same. But I do believe that the universe gives us things that counterbalance when days that have no sun. And this day, what's going to counterbalance this no sun day is an amazing episode of the Kosh. So thank you, Kosh listeners, again for tuning in. I appreciate you so much for giving us this time. You already know how this goes down. So before we jump in, let me just say that the Kosh is a podcast that spotlights people who have had an association with the Oshkosh or the surrounding Fox Cities area. And more importantly, let me just do what we're gonna do. This week's guest that I am so excited about is Peter Lee. Peter, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Timber?
It's going good. It's going so good. How's your Saturday kicking off?
It's good. I was anticipating the podcast and the interview, and then I unexpectedly checked my email, and you said, "Hey, come through earlier."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yes, let's go."
Yeah. That's it, right? Let's just jump in. I'm not gonna lie, Kosh listeners, let me just share this. When I have guests, I can't tell you how often a guest is like, "I'm a little nervous about this," and I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's just a conversation."
Definitely.
And then all of a sudden, when they get ready to, and they get to come to the Kosh Studios, which is my daughter's old bedroom, all of a sudden, it's not that intimidating anymore.
No, not at all. And, no, this is an amazing spot. And Oshkosh is also home.
Oh,
to some sorts, because I went to school here.
That's what's up.
So yeah, it was definitely some comfort. Driving through the neighborhood and then pulling up and then seeing the home. So it's nice.
Bruh. Facts.
Yep.
Such facts. Okay, so so Peter, can you please tell us a little something about yourself and what's your connection to the Kosh? Well, you started telling us that, and the surrounding Fox Cities area.
Yeah, so professionally speaking, my role is a diversity and inclusion consultant for US2 Behavioral Health located in Appleton or the Fox Cities. I am Hmong American, but I identify as American first. I was born in Appleton, raised in Appleton, and so Appleton is home. Prior to this role, because nobody, grows up dreaming to become a D&I consultant.
Nah, man, it's not on the professional. This is what I'm gonna do. Well, I changed that. I met somebody who's in college that this is the dream job.
Really?
Yes.
That's just like a generational thing then, because like in my generation, right, like it's like doctors and lawyers, and for me it was a teacher. Mm-hmm. For me it was a teacher. So I identify as an educator. So I was a longtime teacher for about 10 years in the greater Milwaukee area in Chicago, and then I've kind of gradually moved my way back home. So that's a little bit about me.
That's what's up. All right. Family?
All of my family, most of my family is here in Appleton. So brothers and sisters. I do have a younger brother who's like a professional dancer and life coach in Chicago.
What? When you say professional dancer, are we talking like Dance of the Stars professional dancer?
Professional dancer as in like made it on like what is that? What is that show? So you think you can dance?
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So you think you can dance?
Yes.
He's taught. He's coached. He lived in LA for a while. But yeah, he's amazing. Shout out to my younger brother, Tujer Lee, Digits. So yeah, he's in Chicago with his partner, Vanessa. And then I have, I'm Hmong, so I got family everywhere.
Hey, I wasn't gonna throw the stereotype out there, but there might be a little bit of truth in there.
Yeah.
That's deep, man. All right. You ready to jump into the first segment?
Yeah.
All right. The first segment is called What in the World is Going On With? This is where you start with the phrase, what in the world is going on with? And you tell us what's on your mind. So, Peter, what do you got for us?
All right. This is going to be a little silly, but what in the world is going on with milk?
Oh,
bruh.
Break that down.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I was already confused by milk, right? Like I just thought milk was milk. And then I think at a younger age, I realized, there's 3 types of milk. There's 2%, whole milk, and then there's skim.
Okay.
Now, I don't even know what's out there. Like there's so much variety available. There's like,
bruh.
Help me out. What types of milk are you familiar with?
Okay, there's almond milk, oat milk.
Yeah.
Like those are goat milk.
Yeah. Coconut milk.
Coconut milk.
I can't even keep up.
Right.
And it's like, and then now like people aren't even drinking like milk.
Oh yeah.
Because it's unhealthy. It's.
I don't know. There might be other reasons. Like I can tell you right now, I don't do. Here's the thing. Sometimes when you're a young kid, you don't understand your body. So like you can't understand things until there's words and definitions for the reason of the things, right? Mm-hmm. So like I didn't really realize I was allergic to cats until I was an adult. And then I thought about things in my experiences with cats when I was a kid. And I thought, oh my God, like I'm definitely allergic to cats, but you don't know, right? Because it wasn't, allergies wasn't something we talked about in my household growing up. It was more like, go have some Robitussin. Yeah, you're sick. Have some Robitussin. So I didn't. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, like seriously, like you don't know. And so what I have figured out now as an adult is that I'm actually lactose intolerant. Mm-hmm. And so like now, I can probably get away with like a 2% and a skim, but I can't get away with like a half or a whole. Mm-hmm. And so like when you go to a coffee place, you need to know what they putting in your stuff because these yummy coffee drinks have like some serious cream that they're using in their drinks, right? So that Starbucks, that cappuccino, that whatever, right? That's got creamy stuff in it. And so like when I go now, I've learned, and I didn't get why my body would react the way it would react to certain things. Now I'm like, hey, can I get that almond milk substitute?
Yeah, and I get that. And I do feel like it's a changing culture. Because when I was growing up, we had the Got Milk posters all over the elementary schools and the athletes with the milk mustaches. And now it's almost like that's taboo. Like you don't drink cow's milk.
Yeah, I don't know if it's taboo, but it was definitely way more promoted.
Yes, absolutely.
But that also just might be, and I've thought about this, maybe it's a cultural thing. Like what your body accepts may be according to what historically, wherever your family's history comes from, what was available. Right. And if cows were not part of your family's legacy, maybe your body rejects milk like that. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just something I've thought about. That's deep. I like the milk thing. Milk. Yeah. Let me just tell you right now, for all y'all out there, if you haven't messed around and tried some of this almond milk stuff out there, that stuff is great. It is. It just is. It's yummy. It's sugary. Like, it's got this sweetness to it. Like, it makes a great drink.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Okay. My what in the world is going on with is, what in the world is going on with the fact that my wife had 27 bottles of salad dressing in our house?
Bruh.
I just want to repeat that. I'm not even kidding. Gosh, listeners, I want y'all to hear this, because this is my life. So, my wife is a deal buyer. She's all about, hey, let's buy the deal. And I'm like, all right, I get it. So, at places like our local Piggly Wiggly, they have the thing where it's like 5 bottles of salad dressing for 99 cents each. And I'm like, all right, I get it. So you buy the 5 bottles to get the 99 cents, because one bottle by itself is probably $5, right? So you think you're getting the deal. But so my wife told me this, and like, for some reason recently, I decided to go through our cabinets in our refrigerator, and we got some storage shelves of food in the basement too, right? And so I just knew we had a lot of salad dressing. So she told me, she's like, hey, I got a great deal on this salad dressing. I was like, babe, we don't need no more salad dressing. I was like, we probably got 10 bottles of salad dressing in the house right now. Now, see, my wife is a person that you can make statements like that, but it means nothing to her until you have to physically show her. You have to physically show her. So you got to go. And I was like, so she gave me the look like, leave me alone. It was a great deal. And I'm like, babe, we probably don't need to buy any salad dressing for the next 2 years. Right.
Yeah.
So there was the challenge was out there. She gave me the look, which said, okay, babe, I'm going to show you this. And she's like, no way that there's that many, I was like, babe, there's at least 10. There's at least 10. So we start the process.
That's impressive, though, because I didn't know there was more than 5 different types of salad dressings.
I didn't say they were different. I didn't say there was difference. I didn't say there's 27 different types of salad dressing. There's probably a total of maybe 6 or 7 different types of salad dressing. Maybe some different brands in there along the way. Like there might be something like an Olive Garden salad dressing, some type of special balsamic or something like that, right? And here's the thing. We eat salads. And let me rephrase that. She eats salads. Timber eats meat. And so I eat a salad here and there.
All right. So in your wife's defense, how many other uses are there for salad dressings?
Look, I don't know. I only have, I have two basic uses for salad dressing. There is salad and there is Reuben sandwiches. Right? Because you need a good Thousand Islands if you're doing a Reuben sandwich, and I love a good Reuben. But so we go, and I reach into the cabinet, right? The cabinet was, she thought that was her safe space. And I found right away about 3 unopened in our cupboards, right? And then I go to the basement. In the basement alone, I pulled out about 10. So we're already at about 13, right? Then I go into the fridge. Now the fridge, mind you, is the opens, right? So they're half open, this, that, and another, quarter open, whatever it is. The fridge was the jackpot. There was over 10 plus in the fridge. To be perfectly honest, I think there was 15 in the fridge. You don't even realize you're using up that much of your fridge space when you're doing this. I'm not even kidding, y'all. So I took each bottle out and I lined them up next to each other and I put them on the counter, and she's just looking, and I could just tell that she there was this look of she was in horror. Only because, not because she was ashamed about having 27 bottles of salad dressing. She just knew that she was going to hear about it, because I wasn't going to let it go that easy.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Kosh listeners, if there was only about 10 bottles, I'd have let it go. If there was 15 bottles, I might have quiped a little bit, but I'd have let it go. 27 bottles? Seriously, 27 bottles? What you gonna do with 27 bottles of salad dressing?
I love it. And for those of us that don't know, Timber, how long does salad dressing last?
I don't know. I'm gonna assume ever. I don't see why it would go bad. I just think it's one of those, because apparently it's one of those things that sits in your fridge, right? You don't think about it. You just keep using it until it's gone, right? But it takes a while, at least unless you are that person who uses salad all the time or salad dressing all the time, right? And like I said, we are a 50% household right now because there's 2 people living in this house. One is a avid salad eater and the other one is a carnivore. So, I mean... I'm just saying. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's what in the world is going on with. If anybody needs some salad dressing out there, send me an email here at askthekosh@gmail.com. I'm kidding. Because I'm going to tell you right now, my wife already, you know what the solution to 27 bottles of salad dressing is? Now we are eating salad all the time. So now my diet has changed.
Yeah.
So maybe there's going to be a healthier Timber.
Forcing the habit.
Facts.
Forcing the habit.
All right. I'm sorry about that. I just had to get that out there.
I love it.
All right. Next segment is word association. So we're going to say a word, Peter, and you tell us what comes to your mind. And love this first word because I believe it is a unifying word. First word is food.
Food. What comes to mind when I think of the word food is home. We often talk about like, hey, where's the best pizza? Where's the best, I don't know, steak, or in the Hmong community it's pho. Where's the best pho? And the most common response, I think, is always like at home, right? So for me, food is home. I've lived in Appleton for about a good 18 years of my life, Oshkosh for about 4 during my college years, and then moved to Milwaukee for several, and then Chicago. And of course, like, Milwaukee has great food. And of course, like, Chicago, it has great food. But I find myself always looking for that thing that is most similar to like a home cooked meal.
Yes.
Right?
Facts.
Right. So yeah, food reminds me of home.
I love that. All right. Do we have a favorite pho place?
Favorite pho place. I'm not gonna get this right. But besides at home, there's a spot on right by the mall. I think it used to be the Tony Wynn's. I think it's called Faux Papa now.
Okay.
And then there's like this little secret spot I like to go to during lunch, and it's in I'm not gonna get it right. I think it's in Greenville.
Okay.
I think it's called Thai Cuisine. That's the best spot I've gotten it. And of course, there's Mice Deli and there's Gang, but I've heard a lot of good things about Faux Papa, but my go-to spot is Thai Cuisine in like Greenville.
Okay, that's what's up. I always want people to have the opportunity to kind of know these places, so maybe there's an adventure for them for the Kosh listeners.
Yeah.
Cocktail or beer?
Timber, I would love to say both, but I think I'm more of a beer person.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And I don't mind trying a good cocktail, but it comes down to like who's preparing it.
Bruh. Facts.
Right. And nowadays I feel like, you go out and you got these like fancy names and you don't even know what kind of cocktail you're getting. Right. Or here, I'll give you a story. So my wife and I were just recently in Florida, and, we're hanging out at the resort. We're getting some drinks at the bar, and it's busy. it's I guess it's always busy in Florida, even during hurricane season, right?
I would hope not, but
Well, it was. We were in Fort Lauderdale, and it was busy. And so, the bartender gives my wife and I a drink menu, but you can also tell like he's being patient, but you can tell he's also flustered, right?
right.
And he's doing his best to serve everyone. I'm looking at this complicated sheet of cocktails, and it looks amazing. And so, my wife orders a cocktail. I can't remember the name because, these names can be anything. And the bartender looks over at me, and I was like, hey, let me get a vodka seltzer with a lime. And he smiles at me, and he's just like, thank you. Like this like look of like gratitude on his face.
Facts.
Like something simple.
Yes.
Yeah. And I tried the vodka seltzer because I was listening to your show, and I was like, all right, I got to see what this is all about. And hey, man, it slaps. It slaps. It's good.
Yeah. You know what? Here's my thing. You know what that is? That's Florida stuff, because that sure ain't Wisconsin. Because there's many a church here, aka Libations Establishment, where if you order something that outside of an old fashioned, they're gonna look at you twisted. Basically, a drink in Wisconsin is two things: whatever the liquor is and whatever you want with the liquor. It is a Captain and Coke. Do you know what that is? It is a vodka seltzer. It is like, we don't get down like that in these parts. People get frustrated.
Yeah.
You know what getting fancy is? Can I get a lime?
Bruh.
I'm just saying. So I feel you on that. Like all that other stuff.
Yeah. And you know what? I do like a good beer. I like craft beer. I like IPAs.
Okay.
And I'm curious about like the whole process, and I find them interesting. So I enjoy a good beer.
Okay. I respect that. All right. Streaming.
Oh man. I am addicted right now to House of the Dragons on HBO.
Oh, I haven't. Okay, you're the first person to bring this show up. Bruh. What's this about?
So, I'm not going to do a very good job. So I apologize to the Game of Thrones fan club. So House of the Dragons is a prequel to Game of Thrones, right?
Okay.
And so, are you familiar with Game of Thrones?
I've never watched it. And Kosh listeners, don't curse me for that, but I ain't paying for HBO, so that's basically all it comes down to. I want to watch it. I don't want to pay for it. But no, I haven't.
Yeah. Well, at one point, Game of Thrones, I think, was the most pirated show, like, in the world. Like, it was that popular.
Right.
So, and I don't know, man. HBO just gets it right. For whatever reason, they just get it right. But anyways, so House of the Dragon is a prequel to Game of Thrones, and I don't want to do spoilers either because I don't want to get like,
yeah, man,
I don't want to upset anyone. But anyways, it's about House Targaryen, who like ruled at one point, and they had all these dragons and made it easy for them to rule, right? And it's about their house going into like civil war. So it's like science, like it's like fantasy meets like politics, and it's about all these like houses and names like warring, going to war because everyone thinks that like they have the right to sit on the throne. Yeah. So, and then you have dragons.
Bruh.
Thank God that the Republican nor the Democratic Party has dragons.
Or that they don't.
I couldn't imagine. We already have enough problems.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Concert.
Oh, concert. Concert. Like, what would I go to?
I'm just throw the word, man. You tell me whatever. Maybe it's the bucket list concert. Maybe it's something you already went to. Concert.
Oh man. there's a concert recently in Chicago, John Mayer, and like I love John Mayer. I would love to go to John Mayer, and I had the opportunity to go to the concert, and my wife and I, with our family, we decided to go to Howling at the Moon instead in Chicago. And so I'm not gonna get this right, but it's a bar, and you have people come and they just perform, and they take the whole night. They just take song requests.
Oh, that's deep.
Bruh.
That sounds fun.
And it was amazing. These people were just like local musicians, singers, songwriters, probably. You know, they just play and they take song requests the entire night, and that was amazing. And so
does this happen often?
Yeah, I think so. It's like it's called Howling at the Moon in Chicago, and I think they have a variety, like a good amount of locations throughout the nation too. But I think about, hey, would I rather go to John Mayer or have that experience I had at Howling at the Moon? And I don't know if you can beat that experience, because it was amazing. And these people on stage, right, were just so talented, you know, and they're young and they're passionate, and everyone's rotating. Timber, everyone's rotating. Like, so the singer's like singing, and then they rotate to like guitar, and then they rotate to like drums, and they rotate to bass. And so everyone gets an opportunity to like be the lead singer, to like show off on their instrument. And it was amazing. And I'm not musically like talented or gifted at all, so no. I can only just begin to appreciate it. So when I think about concerts are nice, but I really liked the community and social aspect of like what I experienced there in Chicago at Howling at the Moon. So that was nice.
Now you got me. That sounds like I'm gonna have to put that on the bucket list.
Yeah, we were dancing with random people, singing, you know.
Field trip.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
The Kosh field trip. Hey, Kosh listeners out there, if you know anything about this, can you reach out? Can you reach out and help us figure this out? Because I think that sounds like a future field trip.
Or let's just bring that kind of thing into the Kosh.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Right. Yes.
Bruh.
Facts. We should do that.
Yeah, why can't we have that here?
We could have that here.
Right, absolutely.
All right. I like that. Shop local.
Shop local. So I must admit, I don't do a good job of shopping local. My wife and I recently just came back to Appleton to live here, and we just bought a home. And so because we've traveled so much, convenience has always been kind of like name of the game, right?
Bruh.
Facts.
But with that being said, I was born and raised in Appleton. And what I've noticed is like we have these Appleton. I like to define Appleton with these two streets, which is like Wisconsin Avenue and College Avenue. And there is an abundance of amazing local shops, business owners, things like that, all along College and Wisconsin Avenue. And I like to think of like those two streets as like the artery of Appleton. Okay. Right? And everything else is like connected.
I like that. That's a great term. Yes. That's a great analogy.
So west to east, you know, you start at, maybe you want to start at the Fox River Mall, which is like west, work your way east on either street. You're going to find some pretty amazing stuff. I have a favorite boba shop right now.
Bruh.
Do you drink boba?
I can't.
No?
No. And I can't figure it out. Like, I love it, but my body don't love it. My body's mad about it.
So.
And I think it's the beads.
Maybe.
Because I think the beads are like tapioca.
Maybe.
All right.
But I think you might enjoy this boba shop. So it's called Uni Uni.
Okay.
Just opened up like maybe this past year. The owner is Fanny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's,
shout out to Fanny.
Yeah. And she's a Chinese immigrant, but also an American veteran, right? She opened up Uni Uni on College Avenue right there by JJ's Laundromat, right there. And it's an amazing boba tea shop. I was actually going to bring us some, but then we started early. They don't open till noon.
She's She's busy.
Yeah.
She's busy.
And hey, like that, the boba tea, man, just it slaps. It's so good. It's not your Thai or Hmong boba tea. It's your Chinese boba tea. So there's some difference there.
There's a difference.
Yeah. Go check it out because you don't have the milky tapioca. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not gonna try to. Just go check it out. Uni Uni on College Avenue. Gosh, listeners.
You know what? I got a future appointment there. I actually got a one-on-one meeting with her as a new business, a new marginalized community business owner. So I'm gonna go. I got a one-on-one with her. I'm gonna spend some time and go check it out.
She's amazing.
She seems really, really cool.
Yeah, and the shop is amazing.
Okay, yeah. That sounds like, I'm about that. All right. Mental health.
Necessary. Everyone deals with mental health, right? And mental health is just health, right? There's that saying. But not
say that again, man. That's deep. I'm serious. Say that again,
bruh.
Mental health is health. Mental health care is just health care, right? There's no separation. There shouldn't be any separation between the mind and the body. But for whatever reason, we put more emphasis on the body and not the mind. And so it's completely necessary. And for whatever reason, there's a stigma behind seeking mental health services, or if you're dealing with your own mental health. You know, if you're a guy or a man, you know, there's this idea that like, you know, you shouldn't talk about these things because you have to like live up to this idea of like masculinity, right? Or if you do have mental health issues, that you should keep it hush hush, right? Like don't talk about it out loud, right? You know, don't make your problem our problem for whatever reason. So I think it's completely necessary. I think there needs to be more education around it, and more emphasis on it.
I think it's changing.
It is.
Because I do think these the generations coming up, like there's an acceptance of it. And there's an acknowledgement of the importance of mental health. And then I also think like I feel like they're more comfortable being vulnerable about mental health.
Absolutely.
So I think we're in a we're in a shifting paradigm.
Mm-hmm. And you know, to that point, I think you're right. The younger generation has a better understanding and better understanding of it. But where I want to bridge the gap is with like the older generation, specifically for me, like the older Hmong generation, just creating that access for them too. Because so much mental health is like it comes from a Western point of view.
Okay.
Right. You go, you know, the stereotypical idea of mental health is you go in a room, you talk with a therapist, it's one-on-one, and right. But in how, like, is that is that the right way to approach mental health for people who aren't white, Caucasian, right? Or, you know, again, I think about the Hmong elders, right? And so how do you provide access to mental health in a way that's like culturally relevant and sensitive?
I love that. All right. Last word. Community. I think I had a word for this, but I'm going to change it. So community, like for me, it's just so much fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. I love that.
Like,
bruh.
And I guess being in my role, I've been a diversity and inclusion consultant for a little over a year now. I think Timber, you and I kind of started around the same time.
We did start close to the same time.
And so, you know, part of my role has been getting out in the community, seeing what it's all about, who's out there, and I've just enjoyed it. It's so much fun. And I think it's not surprising, but, you know, there are so many folks out there that are either so similar or very cool and interesting that, like, you just need to get out there because it's so fun. you meet people who are just so interesting, and it's a good time. So community, it's fun.
I like that. That is a great way to describe it. That's just a great way to describe connecting with others who you share space with. And space means a city. Space means a town. Space means if we're living within so many blocks of each other, like we're sharing space, and that there.
Yeah, and I think that if you allow yourself to be vulnerable to meet people, naturally you gravitate to people who are similar, and you allow yourself to meet people who are like you, and you just have a good time. You just vibe, you hang out.
See, my thing is this: I think everybody's similar. I mean, fundamentally, I just think like there's basic needs. Like what we all want is all the same. I don't know many people who want something really outside the box of you want a safe place to live. You want a nice place to live.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to afford your bills. You want a job that gives you identity and you are proud to do. That you want to support your family. You want good food. I don't know anyone who doesn't want those things. I've yet to meet those people. And if those are the basics, the fundamental needs of most of us in a community, we're all the damn same.
Absolutely. Hey, can I press that button for you?
Oh, wait, let me help you out.
There you go. Nice.
I
love it. I love it.
You bring up a good point. Maybe I should get a set of sounds for the guests so they can also be in on the sound making. Like that would be good. All right. Next segment is the Kosh Hidden Gems. This is an opportunity to share a hidden gem. It could be a place, it could be a thing, and maybe it's something everyone knows about, but maybe they don't know things about it. And you don't have to stay within the Kosh, but you do got experience here in the Kosh. It could be in the Fox Cities region. Peter, what do you got?
I have a lot.
Oh,
I have a lot.
Let's go.
I have a lot. And I will say, this list surprises me because I was the child who wanted to get the hell out of Appleton.
Bruh.
If you only knew how often I hear that, particularly, working when I was recruiting for the university, like no one wants to go to school here, but those who choose to go to school here have an amazing experience.
Yeah. So I turned 18. I had the option to go to college or join the Marines or, the military. And I decided to go to UW Oshkosh. And then I was like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going even further. So, that took me to like Milwaukee and Chicago, and then naturally found my way back. But in the short 2 years that I've been back, like there is a lot of amazing things here. So like the parks, like Appleton, Grand Chute, they've done a great job with just like the parks.
Facts.
Right.
They're amazing.
They're amazing. So go check out the parks if you haven't, There are trails and waterways that are pretty nice. So my wife and I like to go walking and biking, and we like to check out new hiking trails and whatnot. So there's quite a bit. The Boobles Nature Preserve is right there. You have the trails on the north side of Appleton. You got the, is it the CE Trail on the east side over there going towards like Kaukauna?
I'm going to be honest. I'm just getting introduced to this whole hiking nature-ish life. Shout out to my man Kyle Armstrong for his presentation on people of color in nature, engaging and yeah, that's good stuff, man. But yeah, no, I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Menasha's
got a few great ones. And then like if you're not like a walker or a runner or hiker, they got these like waterways where you can go like on a kayak or a paddleboard, and you just go, right on the river there. It's amazing, and you got like the the two lakes right there too. So
Oh,
you can go
facts.
check those out.
Yeah.
So those are amazing. But what I really wanted to talk about today, and it's not really a hidden gem, but I do think that it's like undervalued. I just rediscovered my love for reading. And so
Bruh.
the Appleton Public Library,
Oh.
or libraries in general.
Facts.
Well, the Appleton Public Library, they're renovating right now. So they're in a temporary location, which is the old Best Buy off of Kensington or on Kensington on the east side of Appleton.
Right.
And if you haven't been there, you walk in, you would not recognize it. Because most previously it was used as like I think it was a
vaccination clinic.
it was a vaccination clinic during COVID. And so it was like open, kind of intimidating to walk into like a.
Yeah, because it's big.
It's big.
When you have a Best Buy that's empty, it's huge.
It's huge, and it's huge. It's intimidating because like you're exposed and we're there for like vaccines or getting tested or whatnot. And then you go in there now and they've just done a phenomenal job with the space. And I think libraries are just so undervalued. I think it's a place for you to go and learn, be curious, investigate. It's safe, and then build relationships. So I was there like a few weeks ago and trying to check out a few books and get my library card. I just got my library card. If you don't have yours, go get yours. And I ran into a former teacher of mine, high school teacher of mine, Marty Voigt. And so it's a space for you to just build connection, build community. So public libraries, hidden gems.
Let me just say the library thing is super personal to me because I used to be a circulation aide when I was in high school. And actually, when I first came to college, my first major was library science. That's what I thought I was going to be. Shout out to my man, Mr. Banks down in Milwaukee. He was the man as a librarian. He showed me what it was truly to be a black professional and gave me something to strive for. Sometimes you need to see representation in spaces to be like, oh, that's what that looks like. I can do that. I want to be that. And he did. For a time there, I wanted to be a librarian. I want to give a special shout out to the Appleton Library team. Oh my God, that team is so good. I want to give a special shout out to the Nina Library team. They are amazing. And then a special shout out to the Oshkosh Library team also. It takes a team. And you know what? When you work in the library, you truly are community because everybody comes there. You turn nothing away. It is a resource. A lot of our homeless stake out at the library. It is their place to get warm and feel valued because they are treated as humans and respect in those spaces. There's an understanding about those relationships. There's so much that goes into our libraries. I don't think we can forget to make sure that we properly fund them the way they need to be and to give them the acknowledgement that they should for the amazing things they give back to the community.
Absolutely. And to your point, let me share one more thing, which is that, historically speaking, it's not a secret. Libraries were established for a certain class of citizens, right? But something I learned from Kara Sullivan, who is the executive director of the Appleton Public Library, the library is a civil right. It's a right. It's not a privilege. It is your fundamental right to have access, to be able to go in and just feel like you're part of the community. So that's something people can't take away from you. It's a civil right, right?
That hit hard, man.
Yeah, and shout out to Kara Sullivan, doing great things over there. And again, hidden gems, public libraries. Go check them out.
Facts. Okay. What does the Kosh need?
What does the Kosh need? I don't know, man. You kind of got it all here. Your setup is great. The house is great. You know.
No. That's a bigger thing. So the Kosh is, what does the community need? What do we need? What's missing? What do we need to let the powers that be know what's missing? And once again, because you are not necessarily living here in the Kosh, it expands it because, it's the whole Fox Cities region. What's missing? What do we need?
Yeah. Part of my frustration as someone who calls this place home is, I believe, and maybe I just haven't come around enough, which is that too many of us work within our own silos.
Bruh.
Facts.
So what does the Kosh need? I think we have it all. We have it all, but the missing part is the connection.
Bruh.
Facts.
It's the connection. We have all the pieces, but we're not connected, or not as connected as we should be.
There's a lot of resources that don't talk to each other.
Absolutely.
And we should.
Yeah. So I think this is a place that anyone can call home, whether you're born and raised here, whether or not you're a transplant. It's all there. But we just need connection.
That's really good. All right, Peter, I'm feeling you on that one, man. That is fantastic. Yeah. Okay. The next segment, the Naughty/Heroes Corner. This is your opportunity to place somebody in the it doesn't have to be a person. It could be whatever. It could be an organization. It could be just a thing, whatever. But you place something in the Naughty or the Heroes Corner and then elaborate.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to get into this, but
yeah, we do. We ain't scared.
Bruh.
The naughty corner.
Oh.
I nominate Kanye West.
Bruh.
Like, what is going on? Like, so social media. In my line of work, right? Diversity and inclusion consultant. I do this thing where I go down this rabbit hole on either YouTube or social media and see what's out there. And I do my very best to listen to the other side so that I don't feed into my own bias, right? So confirmation bias. So I don't feed into my own confirmation bias. And so a lot of Kanye West and Candace Owens has been popping up on my channel. The White Lives Matter stuff.
Bruh.
And so what is going on, Kanye West? So I put him in the naughty corner because it's like I can't even begin to put words together to describe what's going on.
You know what? So this is the second week in a row someone put Kanye in the naughty corner.
Oh, really?
Really. And so last week when we talked about this, and this was my conversation with Nao and Kanye. Now, Nao was like, he set his line with Kanye, right? I think he set a line with Kanye. I don't think he's in that place, right? And so here's what I'm going to say. I made the normal excuses that I feel, and once again, I'm going to apologize for any generalizations, but I think I made the normal excuses of what I feel like black culture makes for Kanye. About his mother. Like, Kanye ain't been right since his mom died. Like, there's Kanye just went off the rails. And then, if Kanye is, and no one's ever verified this, but there's always the Kanye's off his meds thing that people always talk about. And maybe Kanye's on meds, and, I don't really know. There's never been verification. Mm-hmm. But at the time when I said it, like, let's just say that I was just looking at things at a surface level. Like, I was reading kind of what you were reading, and I was just strolling past it, but I didn't dig deeper, and I didn't put like a lot of thought of it, because I'm going to be honest, I had kind of given Kanye, I don't give Kanye a pass. I try to show Kanye some sympathy though.
Yeah.
Right. Cause I mean, it's it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough in the sense of like you're this person. There's a lot of people looking at you. You know, there's something that greatly affected your life, and like you're trying to be authentic. But then I really started, like, as the week went on, it didn't sit right with me. Like, I even had Kanye still on my bucket list for concerts.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I just felt like a Kanye concert's going to go hard.
You know what? We're talking about concerts before, and now that I'm thinking about it, I've been to quite a few. Not enough, but the best concert I've actually ever been to, I would say, is a Kanye concert. And despite how I feel about him at this moment, like, I still have to say, like, the best concert I've ever been to is a Kanye concert. It was amazing, and the whole experience. And I'll share why.
Okay.
Because he's such a performer and he's such an entertainer. The start of the show, you know, he had the fog and, you know, his dancers up there, and then he comes down from the stairs, and then my wife and I were actually like sitting next to the stairs, and so my wife tried to go and like touch Kanye, and she got like stiff arm.
By Kanye or security?
Security.
Okay.
But he's such a performer, and it was an amazing experience. So I almost wonder, like, how much of this currently is a performance?
Bruh.
Nah, man. I think Kanye really has gotten to a place where he doesn't believe rules apply to him. Right? Seriously. Like, if I was gonna say if there was something that I think happened to Kanye, I think Kanye found a place where he thinks rules don't apply to him, or he only lives by his own. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but I'm also a firm believer that if you are in the business, if your business is about people that support you, whatever that looks like, if it's musically and people go to your concerts or people buy your music, if you have a clothing line and people buy your clothing and all that, Kanye was built by the culture. You can't come back and crap on the culture.
Yeah.
You're not bigger than the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I say the culture, that's the people who made you.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like Kanye believes he's bigger than the culture now.
Yeah.
And that is where he's gone way out of pocket.
Well, what's dangerous is when his followers believe that as well. And then they begin to believe the things that he's saying, and then that can be dangerous, that using that platform.
All I can say is this, look, I'm a firm believer. I always believe like black culture is like early adopters. They set culture. Like the rest of pop culture and stuff, by the time things become pop culture, black culture has already moved on to the next thing. It's old. It's played.
Absolutely.
Right? It's just the way it is how American culture, entertainment culture has worked. And I just think there's just a point now, like he's finally hitting the place. Like there's been a ton of forgiveness, but now what he's doing is become disrespectful.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about Kanye being Kanye, and it's not weird anymore. Or just, you know, this, that, and another, like all the reasons that we have found to let it go. Like he's crossing that line where no matter how great you are, you've crossed the line where we can't celebrate you anymore. We can't appreciate you no more like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, where he's going to start losing. And I think he already has.
Absolutely. I think he's banned on like all the social media platforms.
Right. Now, there's always going to be some loyal followers. But I don't know. So, like, I'm at a place now, like, and I'm so sad you shared that today, and happy you shared today about your experience going to a Kanye concert, because I was about to take that off my bucket list, and now you've given me pause, and now I'm gonna have to wait.
Bruh.
It's, you know, I hate to admit it. It it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience. And I do believe that the loss of his mom does have something to do with it, because during the concert he fell to his knees and he was crying. And I think when we went to his concert, it wasn't too long after that his mom had passed away. So like he was very vulnerable and it was deep, and it was a whole experience, man. So it was great.
All right. Look, I love when guests come on and put somebody in the naughty's corner, because I'm going to tell you that doesn't happen very often. So far, I think out of all the episodes, and we've got over 60 episodes. Kosh listeners, if you don't know, we are approaching 70 some episodes. We have only had about 4 or 5 people put somebody in the naughty corner.
I think maybe you got to make a list and just have it posted somewhere.
Yeah. Just call it out.
Yeah, that way I didn't realize I repeated one. So.
Oh no, you know what that means? It just means that it's super relevant. Like Kanye done did some things.
Yeah. And
so like, that Candace Owens stunt, bro, you can't, I don't like Candace Owens.
Yeah.
And it's bigger than her politics.
Mm.
I don't like people who shame their identity.
Yeah.
I get it. Like maybe you were raised differently. Maybe who raised you was different. Maybe how you maneuver through life is different. Maybe professionally how you identify is different. Like I get it. I've been that person. I can't tell you a space in 30 plus years where there was more me than not. Because there ain't. That just ain't what I've been part of, right?
Yeah.
But I'll never forget where I came from. And I'll never forget how society looks at me. Maybe even if I didn't come from it, I know that when people look at me, I know how they identify me, and you got to own that.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, press the button, man.
What?
There you go.
Peter has just shown me that we are going to give the guests their own buttons.
Timber, so would you select Candace Owens as your naughty person for this week?
No.
No?
No. Because that's just her. She ain't did nothing new, right? She been being Candace Owens for a minute. So, like, I ain't mad at her for being Candace Owens. But I do think sooner or later it runs out. Like, sooner or later, you got to remember that you got to come home. Sooner or later, you may get kicked out the group.
Yeah.
You may lose your privilege.
Yeah.
And let an example of that be the young lady, and I can't think of her name right now, but she was the young lady that was in the Clueless movie. She's the biracial young lady in the Clueless movie. I think she's biracial. And we'll just call her a black young lady. I can't remember her name, but she's pretty, pop culturally known, right? Mm-hmm. And she was on Fox News and she was doing all this stuff. And then like the minute like Trump run, they didn't need her no more. And like they kicked her off Fox News. And then she she came back to black culture with her tail between her legs. And now she's trying to fit in on some like black focused reality show kind of stuff. And it's just like, come on now.
Oh no.
Yeah. And you can't you got to understand, you can't never forget, if anything, you got to always you can be wherever you want to be, but I do believe you've still always got to keep at least one foot or one finger in all the identities that you hold.
Yeah. Don't burn bridges.
Yeah. You just can't deny any of it. Mm-hmm. Own it.
Absolutely.
So, all right. That went hard. All right. You know what? Now we are going to take a little bit of a commercial break.
Hi, I'm Dawn Gulke, the Executive Director of Casa of the Fox Cities. Science proves that one consistent adult can change the story of a child. Could that one person be you? Become a court-appointed special advocate. Build a relationship with a child, help identify their needs, and give that child a voice in a process that can otherwise feel lonely. Contact us today. Children who have experienced abuse and neglect can't wait. Learn more about Casa of the Fox Cities at casafc.org or call Leah at 920-257-4733.
All right. You know what? That makes me happy too every time that we play that. You know, let me just go ahead. I'm going to be personal right now, and I'm going to send this shout out to US2 Behavioral. Hey, US2, y'all need one of those. All right. Talk to me. Talk to me, US2. All right. Peter, I ain't got no shame, man.
Yeah. Let me try to pull something together, and I'll send it your way. Because most likely it'll be me.
Oh, is that what's gonna happen? Oh no, you don't even got to pull it together, man. We do it right here. We bring you to the lab. That was done right here. Yeah, man. We just got to find the key is the vibe. Like we got to find the vibe.
Yeah.
All right. So it's that time of the show, and you know what? Here's what's great about it. I didn't ask. You know, normally, Kosh listeners, I'm gonna be honest. I usually do a good job of. There's a whole conversation that happens before we ever record because we want to give you the best content we can possibly give you. And as I was talking to Peter this morning and prepping for us in this episode, I forgot to ask him the single most important of the Kosh, which was what is your topic of the week? So here's what we're gonna do. We're about to be surprised, y'all, because I don't know. All right. So once again. Every time we do that, it just makes me excited. All right, Peter, what's our topic of the week?
Topic of the week is names. The power of names. The power of a name.
Yes, the power of names.
So let me give you some context.
Yes.
So in my family, my parents, my dad is Bohuli, right? And my mom is Ba Moali. And then I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers. So it's Shua, I, Thula, Shang, Mainza, Dunza, and then Peter. And I'm the only one in my family without a Hmong name.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, and a name is your identity, right?
Right.
And it can give you power. And so I've seen how my name has given me power or privilege, or even a sense of lack of identity too within my own family. So the reason why my name is Peter and why I don't have a Hmong name is because I was the firstborn in the U.S. in my family. I was born at St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Appleton, Wisconsin, and my family was sponsored by a Christian couple. And so they were given the privilege of naming me upon birth, and so they gave me the name Peter. Right? And then all my other siblings, my parents named them.
Okay.
All right. But what you don't know is that despite all the differences in names, every single child in my family, all of our middle names are the same. So, So my full name is Peter Mbolong Lee. And so Mbolong is the name of the village that my parents grew up in back in Laos. And so all of my siblings have the same middle name. And the reason I was told we all have that middle name is so we never forget where we're from.
Bruh.
So that you know what? I'm gonna use your term. That slaps hard, man.
So Timber, what's your full name? What's your name?
Ooh, I don't know if I want to tell because you know what? I've never said my government name on the Kosh.
That's how my former students would say it.
Yeah, my government name, man. You know, here's the thing. It's not that you can't find out my government name. It's just that it is used by a very select few, which is basically my parents, my sister, and my wife. Yeah, and my daughter. That's it.
What about for your Kosh listeners? It's exclusive to your Kosh listeners.
Nah, man, I'm timber
No.
for the Kosh listeners. But here's what I will share, Kosh listeners. And once again, it's not a secret. If you want to know, you can find it. The middle name is Antonio. So, Timber Antonio Smith.
And is there meaning to it, like Timber to Antonio? What's the meaning?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. My government name, the way it went down was and my mom tells me this story, and I think, oh my God, thank God for the auntie who changed my name. Because I was supposed to be Cleophas. That was my name. I was supposed to be Cleophas.
I don't mean to laugh, but
No, man, it's worth a laugh. I don't know what you do with Cleophas because you're right.
Bruh.
You know, your name is like, your name sets your identity in the course to me for how you navigate or how people perceive you, right? Because people take a name and they make, like, I think people associate a name to whatever they want to associate it to, right? And so, like, when you have really, let's say, culturally authentic names, like, there is celebration, but if you're in a different culture, there may be consequence, unintentional, right, for those names. If I would have been Cleophas Smith, I don't know if I would have navigated life quite the same way.
yeah, I would agree with that because and for Kosh listeners, the reason I laugh was because right after Timber said Cleophas, it was the blank look on his face that made me laugh.
Oh yeah, it's because I was horrified when my mom tells this story. I'm always like, I'm horrified. Like, you was gonna name me Cleophas? Like, I'm not gonna lie. There is a stereotype of what I think Cleophas looks like.
Yeah,
It is a nice mini afro with some really long sideburn chops and a really no beard. That's shaved out with a healthy mustache. Yeah. And due to the fact that this name was going to be a name that was produced in the 70s, there is a leisure suit dress. I kind of think of somebody, Black Belt Jones, some of the black exploitation movies from the 70s kind of thing is what I be thinking of when I think of Cleophas. Like, I have feelings about it. I'm just saying.
Bruh.
So I wanted to talk about names because, to your point, right? It's at times it could be a make or break. My name is Peter Lee, and I put Peter Lee just like that on my resumes. I don't put my middle name. I choose to not disclose what my middle name is. And my sister, the executive director of US2 Behavioral Health, her name is Sheng Li Yang now. And we're 14 months apart, right? I was born in the U.S., right? She's known as a stateless person because she was born in a refugee camp. So even like I can go around and I can say, I'm American, right?
Right.
And like that in itself, that name is powerful, right? Like to say like, I'm American. Right, I was born here.
It is. It hits different. Like when people come at you twisted about certain things, and you're just like, I was born here. Mm-hmm. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah,
it hits different.
Yeah. So when I was in high school, our teachers invited some Vietnam veterans to come speak with us, and I'll never forget this. This was in the 2000s when they came and spoke with us. And one Vietnam vet talked about the names they used for the enemy, for the North Vietnamese soldiers, Charlie or Chink or Gook or whatever it might be, right? And there's a student that asked, like, why'd you call them that? And the veteran said, you have to realize that when you're at war, you are tasked with something impossible. You are tasked with killing another human being. And so we would use names like Charlie or other names to dehumanize them, to make it easier to kill them.
Bruh.
And so to take away someone's name is to like dehumanize them.
Facts.
And so when you think about the N-word or the misuse of pronouns, right? Or refusing to articulate someone's name because it sounds different, what does that do to a person?
It definitely it puts weight on your identity.
Yeah, absolutely. So names are super powerful. In the Hmong community, we have Go Yi Seng, which is 18 clans. And so each clan is given a specific name. So like my last name, Lee, is a specific clan, right? And so the joke like, hey, I have family all over, because since there's only 17 names, you know, someone else who's Lee from like the West Coast could potentially be family. And I do have family from the West Coast. Shout out to my West Coast brothers and sisters.
Bruh.
But something we do in the Hmong culture, we do this, we Thimbe Loa, and it's like you get an elder name when you've come to age. So I don't know if that will ever happen for me, but I'm excited for that, because then you get a name change and everyone starts to call you something else. So I'm super excited to like finally receive like my own Hmong name.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't. Now, see, I learn new things all the time. That's player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing joke between some of my buddies and I too. Like, hey, what would you want your Hmong name, your Mbe Lao to be, your elder name to be, if you could choose? And I won't share any here, but it's a fun. It can be fun sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know I think I know what I want my elder name to be.
Yeah, what would it be?
Moonshine Slim.
Moonshine Slim.
Yep.
Elaborate.
I don't know. I just think that's cool. That just sounds like a cool name. Like Moonshine Slim just sounds like somebody that's old and wise and sits on a bank and catfishes. Moonshine Slim.
That's the exact picture that came to my head when you said that.
And so when I am an elder, when I am retired, that's what I want to be. I want to sit in a lawn chair on the bank of a river. And I do include the Fox River, because I got a lot of love for the Fox River, and catfish. And people walk by and they go, catch anything today? And I go, mm-hmm. And I give them the look, and they know that is Moonshine Slim. And I want little kids to come up to Moonshine Slim and be like, it's Moonshine Slim. That's right. Let me bait your hook.
I'm getting the sense that you put some thought into this prior to our conversation today.
No, it's been something that's been on my mind for some time. But that being said, I've never known about elder names, so maybe there's hope. Maybe now you've given me something to strive for. Like I got to become elder worthy.
Yeah,
and then I can be renamed.
Yeah, and man, it's really cool, man. Like I have so much love for like Hmong traditions. There's like this whole ceremony, and you get together and you eat, and it's a whole community event, and it's amazing. It's a good time. It's fun.
Bruh.
Oh, yeah. That's deep, man. Like the name thing is so powerful. And like, I don't think people understand like professionally how it affects you. Like I can't tell you like times when I know, and I used to used to have the privilege. I've been in leadership opportunities. I've been in spaces. I've been a part of a hiring committee hundreds of times, literally. And it's like when you can't enunciate that name, there's fear. And that person may get passed on for simply, it's unfamiliar and I can't say it and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
Because you may be missing amazing talent because of your insecurity.
Yeah. Or bias.
Bias.
Right?
Yes.
I call in a lot to get my car fixed, right? I'll just, hey, let me get an appointment. I think this is what's wrong with my car. What time is it available? Whatever, right? All right, who's calling? Oh, Peter Lee. And I'll walk in. Hey, can I help you? I'm Peter Lee. I just talked to you. like you're Michael, right? You're on the phone. And it surprises me the amount of people that don't expect Peter Lee to be a short Asian guy. Like when I enter the space, like they're expecting Peter Lee, but like when they physically see me, it's like I'm lost. Like I don't belong there. It's interesting,
That surprises me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the last name Lee, I'm not going to lie, and maybe this is my bias, is what I'm going to say. I'm guessing if there's a last name Lee, 8 out of 10 times, it's going to be somebody with an Asian heritage background.
And it's more common here in like the Fox cities than it is maybe like in Chicago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's fair. This is such a good topic because, like, the most powerful topics are things that we all share and we all have names.
Yeah.
We all have names, and those names are part of our identities. Like, I can't tell you how many, particularly like in the Fox Cities region, there's these last names you have. I mean, your family's been here forever, and people know those last names because they were either really big families or they're really wealthy families or whatever the situation is. I'm married to one of those families. Like my wife's family, that last name of my wife's family, oh my God, it's got legacy here in Oshkosh.
What is it?
Pelkey. Yes. But my wife's family is huge. Mm-hmm. She's the baby of 14.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure, man.
You know what it did? What I say is when I married her, I married the city.
Well, speaking of, the names, right? Like nicknames, like the Kosh. Why the Kosh for this podcast?
It's what we used to, it's just how in college, how the people I ran with, my friends, the fellas and stuff, like that was just, it was the Kosh. You shorten it up. Y'all coming to the Kosh tonight? There's a party in the Kosh tonight. It was just the Kosh. And, that's it. There was two things that we always called here. It was the Kosh and Osh Vegas. Osh Vegas. And so, and just know that term was coined somewhere associated with UW Oshkosh. I'm telling y'all right now, I can't tell you when they opened up that Osh Vegas location, the campground resort off of 41, how many phone calls I got asking me, hey, Timber, you opened up a joint off of 41? What is that? Because we had been using Osh Vegas, that term, for so long, way before it ever really got popular here in the region.
Yeah. But yeah, names, man. Whether it's your government name, your clan name, a nickname, I think they're so powerful.
They are. Yeah. No doubt. I think nicknames are powerful. Hence. Anything else, Peter? Any last things you want to put on that?
Oh, there's so much, but right now it's just a mess in my head. So,
well, let me just say this to the topic: the power of a name. This has got to be one of my favorite ones. Okay, all right, Kosh listeners, it is that time. We're gonna start winding down. We're coming towards the end of the show. So let me just say thank you for taking time, giving us your time and listening to us in our conversation here. We appreciate you. Please never hesitate. Let us know what you're thinking. Do you like what we're talking about? Do you got new ideas for the show? Would you like to be a guest? Look, I'm always looking for new guests. Reach out to us at askthekosh@gmail.com. Once again, that is askthekosh@gmail.com. And also, you can be part of the show. Ask us a question. We will play your question on the show. Or maybe you would like to do your own shout outs. Do shout outs. Do some birthday shout outs. Do whatever. This is a community show. Holler at us. We do have a voicemail. Please feel free to call us at 920-385-9298. Once again, that is 920-385-9298. Once again, you already know I'm not going to go as hard as I normally do every week, but we got Kosh gear. If you're interested, please email us at askthekosh and we can talk about it. We got t-shirts and hats. I usually give a whole thing about there is nothing more local than walking around with something that says the Kosh in this region. It just represents local. But I have a different ask for you this week, Kosh listeners. We are trying to grow. I want to grow the program. We've been doing this for some time now, and we've got a really good following. And I want us to share the Kosh with more people. So what I'm asking you to do is go out there and give us a rating. Go out there and put something down on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and help us improve our rating out here. Small ask, cost you nothing. Just a few minutes, 2 sentences, and tell people about why you like or don't like the Kosh, and that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So I need you out there. Help us out a little bit. And that is all for this week. Okay, now it is time for literally my favorite part of the show. It is shout out time. All right, Peter, time for shout outs. What do you got?
all right. So shout outs. First, I'd like to shout out my team at US2 Behavioral Healthcare. I've learned so much from each and every one of you in this short period of time that I've been back home to the Fox Cities. Shout out to NPLI, the Nonprofit Leadership Institute. I'm part of their cohort this year, and so they help nonprofit leaders grow in their capacity, and it's amazing. So shout out to that team there too. You know who you are. I'm also part of this new cohort, Forward 48. Not sure if you're familiar with it, but
I was trying to find my way into it.
Yeah,
I
gotta get you into it.
Well, it was a financial thing. It was the money.
well, for me, it was that too. So I also want to shout out New North. They work in the Northeast Wisconsin side of things, but New North are helping sponsor me to be part of that. So, shout out to New North. I want to do a shout out to all my teachers. I most identify as an educator, and I wouldn't have been able to find success without each and every one of you. So all of my teachers, thank you for all you do and continue to do. Shout out to my family. Same thing. I have a family of educators. They all work in like Afton Area School District. But yeah, shout out to my family for just loving me despite all of my imperfections. And then, of course, shout out to my wife, Farah Yang. She's my favorite teacher. I've learned so much from you. And so, yeah, thank you. And then lastly, I want to shout out my dad. He passed already, but he's the reason why I'm still here physically in this city, in the Fox Cities. And, he never deterred from believing that Appleton or the Fox Cities was home. And knowing that I was so reluctant to stay, he's always messaged to me that, like, this is home. Come back home. Make it home. It's great. And so shout out to my dad for just everything. So, yeah.
All right. That slapped hard. I'm going to use that term now, man. Like, I'm totally going to steal that.
I get it from Hassan Minhaj, the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Indian comedian. He just, I don't know.
All right.
Check him out. Hassan Minhaj.
I am going to check that out. I'm big into comedians.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's like, there's nothing better than laughter.
Yeah, he's the host of the Patriot Act on Netflix.
Okay. All right. I'm going to check that out. All right. My shout outs for this week. First of all, shout out to the Kosh listeners. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't tell you how good it feels when I go to spaces. And if you know what I do right now, like, I religiously wear my The Kosh hat, and it feels really good when people walk up to me in spaces that I don't expect people to walk up to me in outside of Oshkosh, and they're like, oh my God, I listened to the such and such episode, and that was this. Or people will walk up to me and say something really funny about something we said in an episode, like about the burritos at the farmer's market, and I'm just like, oh my God, people are actually listening. So listeners, as you are out there, know that I so appreciate you, because time's the most valuable resource that you have. So the fact that you take some of your valuable time and listen to us and the things and the guests and the things we talk about and find value in it, I appreciate you so much. Send a shout out to Katie Olson, who was a person that recently told me, I met her. She is the new leader of Esther. And we were talking about it, and I shared with her about the Kosh and was like, hey, you should be a guest. And Katie, you should still be a guest if you're listening. But then she sent me a message like a week later, and she's like, I've listened to 7.5 episodes and it's my new favorite. And I was like, oh my God, that's so good. So shout out to Katie and to Esther. Esther does such good work for our community, really serving just being about people and taking care of people in the community and really getting out there. Shout out to Darcy at Oshkosh Corp. I went to a cool training this week at Oshkosh Corp. Oh my God. I got a chance to do a small tour of the new Oshkosh Corp building that's off of 41. That thing is amazing. So I kind of want to come back and check out a little bit more. So thank you for the training. Thank you for the tour. Appreciate it. Shout out to Rayon Brown. Rayon Brown over at Fox Valley Tech asked me to be his sous chef for the Chopped event. And I didn't know what that was about until I knew what it was about. And we won. And let me tell you, that was an amazing event. I've never gone to anything quite like that. I've never had an experience quite like that. And more importantly, $600,000 plus was raised for the Riverview Garden program.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. Like, it was cool. And like, we handled business. He is a great cook. I know how to take orders and help make things happen with him. And we came out with a victory at the end, and there is nothing better than winning.
Ain't that the truth?
I ain't got no shame about it, y'all. I'm just keeping it 100. I want to send another shout out to Henry Sanders Jr. from Madison 365. I got an opportunity to go and be on a panel. They had their leadership conference this week. Oh. You know why conferences are amazing? Because usually it's gathering a bunch of people that's with a shared energy. They're different, right? Everybody's experience is different. Everybody's identity is different. But what their goals are to learn or to help said whatever it is, whether it's an initiative or a community, a demographic, like when there is shared focused energy in a space, it recharges the batteries. It makes you believe again sometimes when you lose some. So thank you, Henry, for making that space, because it felt good to be there. And lastly, last shout out goes to the Fox Cities, the UW Oshkosh Fox Cities Foundation. I happen to be on that board. There's just a good group of people trying to get ready. We're trying to find our way back to really cool things after the pandemic. And I just love their energy and their focus and their purpose and how they're going about it. And the fact that they understand they don't have all the answers. So what they're doing is they're bringing in new faces, new mindsets, new people to help find what the future looks like. And so it's powerful when an organization can acknowledge that growth is needed.
Absolutely.
So shout out to them. All right. That is all of the shout outs for this week. And we are at the last bit, the last thing that we got to do to wrap up this show, Peter. And so it comes down to this, the guest, you got three choices. You can share parting words of wisdom, or what would yourself today tell your 12-year-old self? Or option C, all of the above. That's right. You know what? Because I'm a fan of the multiple choice test, and there, like the option C is always the tricky.
Yeah, it's
always the tricky, right? Like, but you should have that option.
How many people choose option C?
I think that's a tough one, because here's what I think happens. I think a lot of people choose option A and end up at option C.
Yeah.
And some people just can't, and some people choose option B and end up with option C, because while you're doing if you choose option B, you're usually doing option A in there too.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. They kind of intertwine, right?
Correct.
I'll do option C, but I'll start with B and then go into A.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you share the question again for option B?
Option B is, what would yourself today tell your 12-year-old self?
Yeah. So I'm the type of person that doesn't like to dwell on the past or the future, right? And there's a common question, if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you want to be? And my response usually is I'm exactly where I want to be right now. Right? Right now in this space is exactly where I want to be, need to be. So I would tell my younger self, just keep cruising. Just cruise. Just do you. Don't worry too much. Everything that people are going to tell you about the future is false. Don't worry about it. And mistakes you've made in the past, you'll learn from it. Don't worry about it. Just cruise. Just have a good time. Just be you. And then parting words of wisdom. I'm a longtime educator. The content I taught was mostly art. And I think that why I love art so much is that it's a visual and physical representation of your history. You know, that's why I love art so much. And Leonardo da Vinci has this quote that I kind of like used as a teacher, which is that art is never finished, only abandoned. And so I like to kind of tweak it a little bit. And so I like to say the work is never finished, only abandoned.
That was hard, man. All right. So what'd you think?
That was fun. That was
Good.
fun.
Good time, right?
Yeah, man. Fun. I'm gonna start using that word more often now. You know, I think we don't use it enough. It's okay. We can have fun.
Facts. The Kosh.